Okay, so in this reading, we're going to talk about your love story. We're just going to get a sense of like where it is you're at and where it is you're going and how it is to navigate it. And you have 3 piles to choose from, so this will be pile 1. And this is from a kid's game. It's called the Cake Queen. Number 5. And pile number 2 is the Tie-Dye King. Groovy, peace-loving, hippie tie-dye king. And pile number 3 is the Ladybug Queen. This also has a number 10. So you can pause the video to make your choices, and I'll start now. So this is for pile number 1. You guys chose the Cake Queen. I'm just going to put out the cards. Wow. So this is a pretty intense energy. I'll tell you why in a minute, but there's a lot going on already from the get-go. Yeah, that's a lot of energy. So you didn't have any kings from the game. I've been using this child's game for tarot as well, which is kind of fun. Let's see if I can put these so you can see them. So basically what we're looking at here, the first thing I want to talk about is, okay, let's talk about the Cake Queen. That's who you chose. To me, she symbolizes someone who kind of has a lot to offer. And she knows how to present well. But she also has a lot of layers to her. It's not like a simple person to just talk to and get to know very easily. There's a lot of layers to you. It's complex. So there's 2 potential people here. And there's an energy of someone trying to take a partner away from someone else and someone trying to defend the connection. That's what I'm seeing, because the dragon defends the connection and the knight steals the connection. So, sanctuary, is this the high priestess? I'm gonna have to check that. I think 2 is the high priestess. No, that's 5, right? Oh, it is. Okay. So you have the high priestess. It's like you have a deeper understanding of things. And there's secrets here. Something around these connections that hasn't really been revealed or open about. And it feels like there's been a lot of destruction on this path. A lot of really difficult, turbulent endings that you had to navigate by understanding things that weren't being said to you. You had to use your intuition. There's a lot of anger here with this person, this character, the King of Swords. And with the King of Coins, there's almost a feeling like someone's quite possessive over the connection. And there's a need to know how to talk. This could also be a same-sex situation, or it could just be 2 people fighting over the same person. There is fear here. Something so long held has been annihilated. There is a loss of structure. This is a good place, though often does not feel that way. There is space now to create something new on the wisdom gained from all that has come before, right? So you're learning how to take the experience that you went through, which might have been quite difficult and challenging and dark even. Could have been betrayal here. take that experience and instead of feel really angry or sorry about it, learn from it. Learn the good things and learn the bad things, and take it almost like a compost for your next experience, for how you're going to grow and build, and how to avoid situations where the Knight of Swords comes in, where there's someone trying to interfere with a connection. Even if it's you yourself self-sabotaging, it's learning how to navigate those connections in a healthier way. So that's your message. I'm going to move on to pile number 2. Pile 2, you guys chose the Tie-Dye King. So I'm sort of seeing this guy as very relaxed, very calm, very go with the flow. Maybe an artist. There's already some really interesting messages coming out. Just got that in a different reading that I did. So there's something coming back from the past. We have here the Judgment card. Something coming back from the past that feels like it wants to be reviewed, and it has to do with heartbreak. If it hasn't happened yet, then it might be bringing in some heartbreak. But I feel like it's necessary in order for you to understand the role of this connection in your life. It's almost like you've been kind of asleep for a while. You haven't been living. And this person is part of the reason for that. I don't like to, encourage people to blame people. It's not like that. There's something here around someone interfering in the connection. And this person has a very sleepy kind of disposition. Almost like, they're under the influence of something. Like they're not really sobered up. So with this potion, sleeping potion, the connection was put to sleep because the person was a little bit too relaxed for their own good. And there was some interference here, which caused heartbreak. And it's coming back for review, and I don't know how, right? Maybe you reconnect with the person, or maybe you're just reminded of something that happened. I can get clarity on that, but it feels like you're in a crossroads here. You're also maybe looking back at the past when you were at the crossroads and trying to understand what exactly happened. The wool was pulled over someone's eyes, you see here. So allow yourself to connect and be present in the universe, the external and the internal. Where does one end and the other begin? Close your eyes and open up to the infinite wonders that surround you, that are you. Breathe life deeply into your being and out into the world. Part of this is a reflection of your inner work. The reason you brought upon yourself a connection, right? It's almost like your soul requested to experience this in this lifetime, was because you were under the influence of something that was putting you to sleep. You were in a situation where you weren't cognizant of the things that were happening. The wool was being pulled over your eyes. So the reason it's coming back for review now is because you're at a significant crossroads. You get to birth something really, really important, infinite potential. This could be a creative project. This could be a child. This could be a new relationship. And so this was all a lesson. This person, although quite relaxed and maybe irresponsible in their behavior, was a wise teacher to you. Because they brought this peacefully. They didn't bring it with any kind of anger or tumultuous energy. They peacefully brought you to a realization of how you've been sleepwalking through life. And actually, the only thing that's happening is that you're coming back to life. You're coming back to understanding yourself and your own power, which is quite big. You actually have quite a big, powerful persona in this world. But you've been watered down. And so your soul drew this connection towards you so that you could understand what was interfering with your own growth, with your own evolution, and your own power to manifest. And the more you kind of connect with life in a different way, where everything that happens to you is a reflection of the inner work that you've done or haven't done, the more you will be encouraged to step forward into your own life and take the wheel and have different outcomes. So I hope you enjoyed that. I'm moving on to pile 3. Pile 3, you chose the Ladybug Queen. So it was interesting when I was pulling out more cards. I kept putting them back in because this is a children's game and a lot of the cards I just have no use for reading. But you kept getting the 7s. The 7s, and you kept getting these Fools. And they're not actually fools, they're like jokers, right? And what it says in this kid's game is that anytime you get this card, you get to pull another one on top of it. So it's almost like a try again card. Wow. There's a time of a lot of confusion currently in your life. And if it's not current, it's coming up. There's a lot of confusion and there's a lot of sorrow. And it feels like something got slipped away. Someone slipped away or something slipped away. And so then you were left to figure it all out on your own. There wasn't enough closure in the situation. And your involvement in this was partially to do with something financial. Because you needed to know that there were people who were going to back you up. If it came to something where you had to defend yourself or something where you had to sit in court, it was like you were trying to be backed up in a situation. The truth is, you had these people show up who were kind of playing with your feelings. And it happened again and again. I think this came out like 3 times. So you kept getting these people who were playing with your feelings. And then you would try again. But the truth is, you needed to pause. Because it was an energy. It wasn't a person. Once it showed up again and again and again, it was an energy. It was a repetition. And so these types of jokesters that were showing up in your life, kind of gambling with their emotions and gambling on love, really brought you face to face with a lot of different women. And these could be literal women in your life, or this could be you yourself. Maybe both. And one has a very trickster, negative energy playing behind the scenes. One is more forward, coming forward with monetary or physical or something kind of luring people in. Seductress. And one feels a little old. Like she's not really able to get what she wants anymore. She's trying all the different tricks. It's just not working for her. Kind of feeling like she's going to be put on a shelf to dust away. So there's these 3 people here, and they're all involved in this kind of jokester energy that kept showing up in your life. There's a person who feels like he has to move away from all of this because it's too much. And so as this person moves away, they meet you and you're very vulnerable to them. You're very fragile. And it also has to do with the moon, the cycles of the moon. So if you're a woman, that could be, right, like menstrual cycles. And there's a lot of confusion here and sadness over loss. And the main thing is to learn to ground yourself through all of this experience. Learning to ground yourself, learning to be independent when it comes to finances, not relying on shady energy anymore as an indicator of your self-worth. Because I think that was happening in the past, which was causing confusion and too much emotional investment. These two are both water, so this is Cancer and it's Pisces. Feeling lost, no focus or structure to guide you. Relax and let go of the struggle to work things out at this time. In this loose space, new ideas, new ways of being can take form. In this muddy ground, seeds germinate and new growth begins. So this is a time of growth for you, even though it kind of feels like you're just sitting there dumbfounded about a lot of things that happened in your past. Maybe feeling sorry for yourself or just feeling regretful, crying over spilt milk and what went wrong and why it is you're kind of stuck in this confusing state. But again, like I said, you need to stop letting people who aren't really solid characters in your life, right? They're kind of in and out, or you don't know them very well, or these people are clearly just kind of playing games with your emotions. You can't allow those people to keep having a significant role. And I just realized 10, 5, 15. So 10 plus 5 is 15. And that's a 6. So maybe it is 6, it's about balance, it's about community and fostering more of that in your life and more of a feeling of family. So if this has to do with family, maybe connecting with people who feel like they're more family to you. And changing your life that way. Grounding energy. Maybe travel. Maybe journaling. Maybe just getting some distance from toxic people and toxic behaviors. Thank you for watching.